What up, nerds? My name is Leslie. Welcome to the Nerdy Narrative, and thank you so much for joining me today to talk about The Free Bastards by Jonathan French. This book was not what I was expecting to finish out the Lotlands trilogy. I was expecting more of the same from the first two books. Now, the first book, there was a lot of action, and you didn't realize there was a lot of intrigue until the end. The second book was full of strategy and intrigue, and then the third book was, I think it was supposed to be political maneuvering with some action, but it fell very flat for me. Now, it is the last book in the series, and it is the Lotlands. All of the different races of the Lotlands are binding together to face and fight the Hesparthians, which are the humans. The Hesparthans have set their eyes on reclaiming the Lotlands back. They want to pull that back into their kingdom. Originally, they let the half-orcs settle there because the half-orcs were an extra barrier between the humans and the orcs. And now that they feel that the orc threat has been eliminated, they want that land back. And with their heavy machinery, their war artillery, they are bringing the fight. Taking that at face value and comparing apples to apples as far as what each side has that they're bringing to this war, it really looks like the Hesparthans are going to be a very formidable foe. And that's just our series long-term arc. Our character point of view for this one is Oates. He is the third of the little group of Fetching and Jackal, who were the POVs for the previous two books. And I was really hoping it wasn't going to follow the same device as the first two. I thought, please don't give me a third book where this one gets something like the other two did. You know, I was just really hoping we were going to break out of that mold and get a little something different. And we did get something different. Oates is a character that you do care about. He is a great character. He is not a main character, if that makes any type of sense. He was not compelling enough, or was not written compelling enough to pull the weight of carrying an entire book by himself. It was just slow. It was boring. I was not excited to pick it up. It took me a long time to get through. I was just not invested in his story. In fact, his character was actually changed in this one. He was very different than the previous two books. Now, that does make sense considering what happened to him previously, so it wasn't just some random change. Since we're talking about changes as far as characters, let's talk about prose. So this series is widely marketed as Sons of Anarchy, but with half-orcs. And I do agree with that. There's a lot of battle, it's brutal, and the half-orcs are uncouth, they're crude, they have a lot of foul language. And I think because of the first two books and the reviews, you know, and just how it was pointed out about the language and the things that they did, I feel that Jonathan French leaned into that too much with this one, and it was so overblown with the crudeness and the language that it took away from the book rather than added to. This was like our characters were teenagers who were away from their parents, where every other word was a curse word, you know, and it didn't matter that it didn't make sense. It was the fact that they were away from our parents and they were just going to cuss as much as they could and say everything that they could. That's what this was like, and it actually detracted from my enjoyment of the story in this one. I didn't like it. I don't think it fit. And as a result, I can't recommend this series to anybody because I would feel terrible if they went out and bought these books and then came back to me and was like, why did you tell me to read this series? That was a horrible ending. Out of a 500-page book, I was expecting more than just 3 good scenes. And that is my opinion of The Free Bastards by Jonathan French. Have you read the series? Have you read the last book? Do you agree with me? Do you feel differently? Would you like to discuss it further? Maybe you have some insight to it that I didn't pick up on too. You know, reading is subjective, and maybe because I haven't experienced the type of thing that Oates did, where he is questioning his beliefs, he is questioning his choice to be a warrior and just what he would like to do with his life. I have not experienced that, at least not as of yet. So as a result, maybe I didn't relate to him and that affected my subjective opinion of it. You know, I just know that based off my love for the first two, I wanted more out of this one and I didn't get it. So it fell a little flat for me. You know, if anything I said about the first two books sparked an interest in you for reading the series, I would say get them from your library. Don't invest in these books until you have read them for yourselves and make the determination if you feel like this is a series you'll own and reread. I am probably going to be unhauling the series because while I could see myself rereading the first two books, I'm not going to read the conclusion. So that's where I'm going to leave it with you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.